Hi there. Thanks for being at least a little bit interested in my new book, Small Company, Big Business. So I guess you're wondering what's in the book. Well, I've been a small business owner for a bit over 20 years now, and I've spent a lot of that time dealing with large organisations, government, international agribusiness, mining companies, and so on. And I know that for us, and for so many other small businesses, the first contract that you get with one of those large names can be the spark to real business growth. All of a sudden you've got the credibility and to bid on the next contract, and then the next one after that, and the next one after that. And next thing you know, you've got some lovely big clients, you've got a much more stable revenue stream, you're improving the skills of your team, and so on. But it's not always just that easy. In fact, our very first large organisation contract was with an international agribusiness research organisation. And we were just a little itty-bitty startup small company back here in Australia, and the deal that we came away with reflected the imbalance of power between the two parties. And I figured out that I was going to have to get better at dealing with these big organisations if our little company was going to survive. So what I've tried to put into this book is my 20 years of experience of dealing with big organisations and how to get your small business up to speed so that those big organisations will actually want to deal with you. What I found out in my research when I started thinking about writing this book is that there's a real disconnect between the small companies and the big companies, and they're all around the same three things. First of all, small businesses think it's all just too complex. There's too much to do, it costs too much time, and it costs too much money to put it in place. Secondly, they don't understand. They just don't understand all these complex requirements. Big companies use acronyms and all this sort of stuff that small business owners just don't understand. And lastly, small business owners really struggle to even get on the radar of these big organisations, to even be noticed, to even be asked about working for them. So what I set about doing was writing down how I responded to those, or how my company responded to those three challenges. And I've come up with 7 chapters in the book. I think it's 7. First one is explaining how these big buyers think. How is it they actually do think differently to small businesses. So that we explain that. Then secondly, I pose a question to you as the small business owner. Do you really want to do this? And I set out the pros and cons of actually having one of these big companies as a client. We then step through the 5 steps that you must do to make your small business ready. These large companies like consistency. They like consistency. They want what they want consistently, every time, on time. And that's where we often miss out or dip out as smaller companies, because we just can't provide that consistency. So the 5 steps that I've given you in the book actually tell you how to get your small business up to the standard so that you can attract and successfully work with those large organisations that you would just love to have their logo on your website to give you all that credibility. So that's a very brief outline of what the book's about. I hope you are interested enough in it, or in the contents, that you will pop your name on the list to be let know when it's actually available, and shoot me any questions that you might have before the book's released. I've just had a phone call from my publisher this afternoon that it's gone to the printer this afternoon, which is very, very exciting. So I hope to hear from you and get some feedback on my book. Thank you.